Well, Tulasizwe, the funeral service is just about wrapping up here at the Acacia Community Hall, and the remains of internationally acclaimed actor Presley Chweneyagae is leaving the community hall now and will head to the Zandfontein Cemetery. The pallbearers have just been pulled to the front, and Cobrizi, as he was known, will be laid to rest at the Zandfontein Cemetery, a couple of kilometers away from where we are, as the pallbearers carry out the remains. So many tributes at Lasizwe have been paid to this incredible actor. So much has been said about his professionalism, about the life that he also led off screen, but you can tell that he was incredibly admired by all. One can certainly tell.
Please work with me. Give space for Moruto. Yeah.
Just headed.
Go to the side. Go to the.
As the procession moves out of the church.
Go to the side. He said, I don't want to push you. Go to the side.
We're just making a bit of way to us for members of the congregation as the procession leaves the church. But an incredible life that was lived, and that is the sentiment that was shared by so many. An incredible life, fully lived. He loved people. He loved all that he worked with. And today, the final goodbyes are being said. I can tell you, Tulas, from outside, there has been hundreds of people who have been lining the streets and have also gone other parts of this community to pay their last respects. I'm not sure if you can still hear me, Tulas, because let me just pause for a second.
So those visuals are coming through from Acacia Town Hall. What you're seeing there is the casket carrying the mortal remains of the late Presley Chweneyagae being taken out of the venue there where the funeral service was taking place. To the top left of your screen, you are seeing the scene at the Zandfontein Cemetery, which is where he will be laid to rest. On the ground for us is Griselda Lewis, watching it all unfold. And Griselda was talking a few moments ago about the moving tributes that have been paid for the late Presley Chweneyagae. It's quite easy to say actor Presley Chweneyagae, but it feels, Griselda, as if many adjectives need to be put before the word actor, because he was far much more than that. This is someone, from all the tributes that have been paid, from everything you've seen since his passing on was announced, what people have been saying on social media and on various media platforms about the impact that he left. I remember when I heard about it, I said, who is going to massify us? Because, you know, he had that turn of phrase that people were alluding to in their tributes to him. Because when something is great, he would say it's massive. And he would say, I'll make you massive. And I've been asking myself, and I think many people will be saying, who is going to massify us in the wake of his passing on? Those are some of the tributes, are they not, Griselda, that we heard as he was being remembered? All right, I'm not sure if Griselda can still hear us, but those are the visuals that you are seeing. I think let's take in a bit of what you are seeing, the sights and sounds there, as South Africa says goodbye to the late Presley Chweneyagae.
Well, Tulas, just moments now to the remains of Cobrizi, Presley Chweneyagae, leaving the funeral service. I tell you, there are possibly hundreds of people here. They've lined the sides of this hearse, and as the coffin was being brought out, they kept shouting Cobrizi, Cobrizi. And of course that name came with him from a time when he was acting on the river. He was called Cobra, and came the name Cobrizi as well. When you talk about someone who has lived a full life, you can certainly tell from the scores of people that have arrived here to pay tribute to him. Even those in Mahikeng from his hometown said they could not miss this moment to say goodbye. Many of them have traveled to here, and you'll see in just about a moment as the hearse moves from this point to the Zandfontein Cemetery, where my colleague Mbalentle Mtetwa will be broadcasting from. Mbalentle will take us through the proceedings at the cemetery, but that of course will be after the cortege arrives at the Zandfontein Cemetery. And I can tell you, walking side by side this hearse, you can tell that he was the pride of many, not just in his hometown, not just in Johannesburg, not just in Pretoria, but of course for South Africans at large. He went on to inspire many. Constant smiles, constantly chirpy, constantly a ball of energy. And certainly it is an industry that has lost greatly, but not just an industry. South Africans have lost someone who really carried his duties out in an exemplary manner. The hearse is going to leave in just a few moments. So many paying tribute to him for the role that he has played, and the demonstration, a demonstration of love, a demonstration of community with every single one that has been here to pay tribute to Presley Chweneyagae. The hearse will move in a few moments, and his final resting place will be at the Zandfontein Cemetery, which is just a few kilometers from where we are. And I can certainly tell you, Tulasizwe, young and old. Yeah. Sir, you were saying a king has fallen, you also came here to pay tribute today.
Yes, today is a big day. We're going to pay respect to our brother here. We lost our brother here.
It's just here to pay respect. That's all I can say. Yeah, the legend, the hero is broken. Yeah, he's gone.
The legend.
It's a farewell. It's a farewell
to our brother.
It's a farewell.
All right.
Yes.
Farewell to a brother. Farewell to a legend. Farewell.
To miss this guy a lot. We're going to miss you, my brother.
Cobrizi, Wally easy.
He's so massive, my brother. You're massive. Massive, brother.
So massive.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
May his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace. Indeed, those are the sentiments of many. Let's just take a listen to some of the sounds as the hearse leaves. Tulasizwe, I'll pause for a second. Where we were just showing you there. We were just showing you part of what is the send-off for Presley Chweneyagae, a guard of honor by community members, many of those that share a piece of what Presley Chweneyagae meant to them as an artist, as a friend, as a colleague, and as someone who treated everyone with respect. And I've been mentioning this quite a lot, given the fact that many spoke about the kind of person that he was, offset. We often tend to know of and see of people on television, and we don't really get to grasp exactly who they were offset. But many have said what you saw is what you got. I'm going to ask my colleague if we could come towards this direction very quickly. And here's a clapperboard. Here's a clapperboard. What a signature moment. I'm going to ask my colleague Katlego for a second. A clapperboard. This particular scene is over, sir.
Yes. Ile yathi dlala nje kulo Sunday siphuma kuyona. Yebo, so sinama ke ngize nami as camera assistant, umuntu oyicamera as a camera operator, as a focus puller, ukuthi no ngize ngizohlonipha icolleague yethu ngoba avihlonipha ngendlela esimanga ndibe umuntu ophansi ehlonipha sonke treata equally, kanti sinenkinga yama act emasetini angamadiva. Lo muntu behlonipha kunama act angasazi nokuthi ngobani emasetini angasibingelela isho sibingelela, but he made sure to mefika esetini ubek notice even ubufika ku first day yakho on set, I've never seen you whereby the actors ongashana for the whole year ingakwazi ngisho igama. So nje we've lost a hero.
Namhlanje ngibona ukuthi esethini phela isinema seyiphela uyayithatha clapperboard akusenzele baba.
This is Presley Chweneyagae Tsotsi resting episode 12 scene 1. It's a rap.
What a profound moment as the hearse leaves the cemetery at the stage, and Presley Chweneyagae is headed to his final resting place at the Zandfontein Cemetery, and it's just a few kilometers away from here. Just ask my colleague. So many of the community members continue to line the streets here ahead of his final resting place in Zandfontein. A guard of honor, and one would not have expected it any other way than what we are seeing at this moment, because as we heard from one of his colleagues who was Tulasizwe carrying the clapperboard there, he treated everyone with respect. Whether you were new on set, he would ask or say, I've never seen you on set before. Can hear the ululating. Let me listen in just a moment.
We are live.
Yes, we are live.
Listen to Beta. We are here. Let's do
A
this.
befitting send-off.
Let's do this. Proper send-off. There'll never be another Tobeta in their lifetime. Grammy Awards, you can wait. After Mandela is Tobeta.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And Ndade, you are also here. I'll ask my colleague to stay on those visuals. You're also here to pay tribute. He is now headed to his final resting place.
Yeah, there is only one step between me and the death. You can read it from 1 Samuel chapter 20 verse 3. Okare wa tshamekiwa witse okare o tla tsoga gape ke a leboga mma okare wa tshamekiwa witse.
As the community runs behind the hearse, you know, in the Xhosa saying, Tulasizwe, Bayamkapa, they are accompanying him halfway to his final resting place. Community members who were inspired by Presley Chweneyagae, just at the age of 40, one can certainly tell that he was an incredible human being. Yes, acclaimed in the various roles that he did play, but in this instance, he was also incredible as a human being. You see, many of the community members continue to march behind the hearse, and I can only imagine, because I think that some of them will also go as far as the cemetery itself, and they certainly did come out in their numbers. The family and close friends are headed towards the cemetery at this time, and one can certainly say that that final clapboard, the final clapboard, has been put together. And with all those tributes, and as the hearse makes its way to the Zandfontein Cemetery, you still have many community members here who are chanting Tsotsi, Tsotsi. And of course, all of that coming from Oscar winning and the phenomenal show that he put on in that film. So with proceedings having come to an end here at the Acacia Community Hall, we're going to hand over to my colleague Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who will be carrying proceedings at the gravesite at the Zandfontein Cemetery. That's where the final resting place of Presley Chweneyagae will be. So Tula Sizwe, I'll hand over to you for now, and I'm sure you'll cross to my colleague Mbalenhle Mthethwa. But this being the final send-off of Presley Cobra Chweneyagae.
All right, thank you for that, Griselda. I'm sitting here in stunned silence, just watching the last 10 or 15 minutes there as Griselda was taking us through and talking as the procession leaves the Acacia Town Hall and making its way to the Zandfontein Cemetery, where the late Presley Chweneyagae will be laid to rest. Just stunned by just how natural it came to the people, the natural outpouring of love and affection and fond memories of the late actor. Truly goosebumps moments that we witnessed in the last 15 or so minutes of that coverage. We'll pick it up a bit later on, as Griselda was saying, as the procession makes its way to the Zandfontein Cemetery. You're watching the Weekend Review here on SABC News. I'll be back with you in just a moment.